What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So we have a lot to talk about today. I want to talk about the $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill. I want to talk about what's in the bill right now, what we know is in the blueprint. We've had politicians already tell us some of the things that are in this $3.5 trillion bill. And then we're also going to focus on some of the things that politicians have been talking about the last several months that aren't in this $3.5 trillion bill. And the hope is that they will start implementing some of these things. But there's a procedural vote that needs to happen. We need the House to pass the budget resolution. Once they pass that budget resolution, that will open up reconciliation, and that will allow politicians to get in there and really start offering some different proposals. So that's what we're focused on. We're also focused on the House. They did return today, so that's good. So they're going to take up a procedural vote today. That procedural vote will allow for the first infrastructure bill as well as that budget resolution bill to move forward. And then on Tuesday, they plan to focus on the first infrastructure bill and the second infrastructure bill. The only problem that we're having right now is Speaker Pelosi is trying to get some unity when it comes to the Democrats, because you have 9 moderate Democrats that are saying, look, we're not going to move forward with this budget resolution. We're not moving forward with the second infrastructure bill until we pass the first infrastructure bill. And their argument is, look, the Senate has already voted. They approved that first infrastructure bill. We can vote on that first infrastructure bill and send it to the president this week. So we don't have to wait. Why are we waiting? And so right now, Speaker Pelosi's in a very, very uncomfortable situation where she's trying to work with the moderates and work with the progressives so they can come together and vote on these bills, but she wants to do them at the same time. So she wants that first infrastructure bill to be held and then move forward with the second infrastructure bill, the $3.5 trillion bill. And then once they have both bills approved, then send them to the president at the same time. That is her plan. However, right now, it looks like it's really falling apart, so that's what we're going to talk about in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please hit the like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, in the comment section, if you see my picture and my name, make sure you also see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so let's go right over to my illustration here. You guys know I like to do these illustrations just to show you exactly what's going on. And we're focusing on this $3.5 trillion bill. That's our focus for this video. And I want to show you what's already in the $3.5 trillion bill, or what's in the blueprint. We have a blueprint right now. We don't actually have a bill yet, but I want to talk about the things that are in the bill right now and the things that politicians have been talking about in the past and that we hope to see in this $3.5 trillion bill. Now, the first thing, universal pre-K. Now, this is something that politicians have been talking a lot about, and it looks like in the blueprint right now, it is in the $3.5 trillion bill. Now, as I'm saying this, just understand there's still a long way to go. You're going to have debate, and you're going to have all these different proposals go to these different committees, and some of the stuff might be added and some of the stuff might be taken out. So this is not the final list. This is just what we know so far that politicians have been saying, yes, this is in the $3.5 trillion bill. Okay, 2 years of free community college. You've heard a lot of politicians talk about that. And so that will be something, and that's all ages. I have had people ask me, well, what if I'm older? Am I still able to utilize the 2 free years of college? And yes, as of right now, it looks like they're not putting any age limit or anything like that on this. So if you've never gone to college and you want to go to a free 2 years of community college, or even if you've gone to college before and you want to take 2 years, I would think that this would you would qualify for that. Paid family leave. Okay, so that's something that they want to focus on as well. Federal support for child care and elder care. Okay, so that's something that we've heard Senator Bernie Sanders talk a lot about. And so that is in this $3.5 trillion bill. They want to convert fossil fuel economy to one based on renewable energy. And they also want to extend the child tax credit. Now, this might go with the child care that I talked about up there. But this is something that we know right now. The people are receiving these monthly payments for the child tax credit. They want to extend that. Now, these are the things that we know. Politicians have been talking about this already. We know that this is going to be in this $3.5 trillion bill, or at least in the blueprint, it's there now, and they're going to have to negotiate it. Now, some of the things that politicians have been talking about in the past that we're not hearing them talk about now. Now, this is the important part, because this is where a lot of people have been asking me this question over and over and over again. And my answer is always the same. We don't know yet. Right now, it's not on the table. So monthly stimulus checks. We know that we saw a couple of letters go out to the president focused on monthly stimulus checks, as well as the fourth stimulus check. Both of these things, letters have gone out to the president. The president's response is pretty much, you know what, it's Congress. It's up to Congress to figure that out, which is kind of punting the ball, in my opinion. I mean, it's one of those situations where the president can easily say, yes, you know what, a fourth stimulus check is needed. And that you'd get a lot of co-sponsors to that. You get a lot of politicians coming on board saying, yes, we want to move forward with another stimulus check. We saw the same thing happen with President Trump. As soon as President Trump came out and said the $600 stimulus check, it should be at least $2,000. Now you had support. You had support from both Democrats and Republicans for a $2,000 stimulus check. And this was in December of last year. So you need the president to kind of step up and say, look, we want to move forward with the stimulus check. And if he does say that, I think that's when we'll see some more movement when it comes to that. Now, if he does not say that, and if he just keeps it up to Congress, then you're going to have some politicians that are going to say, yes, we need a fourth stimulus check, or yes, we need monthly payments. But then you're also going to have some politicians that are going to say, no, we've had enough. We don't need to stimulate the economy with stimulus checks anymore. So we're going to have to follow it. Like I said, at this point, I think it's highly unlikely that we will see either one of these. And the reason that I'm saying that is because politicians really aren't coming on board, and we're late into the game right now. This $3.5 trillion bill, we saw, there's some stuff that they've already talked about, and they're ready to move forward with this. So I don't unless we really hear a strong push from some of these politicians, I don't see the likelihood of a fourth stimulus check, unfortunately. Okay, now $200 raise for Social Security. Now this is another one that's very interesting, because we had politicians talking about this earlier this year, but we're not hearing anything as of late. So that's not a good sign. And so there will be some revamps to Social Security. But right now, the $200 raise, I think ultimately what they're waiting for is the COLA. They want to see what COLA is going to be for 2022. And once they have those numbers, maybe they'll focus on that. But that's going to be later down the road. It doesn't look like it's going to be in this $3.5 trillion bill. Okay, Social Security increase to 100% of the poverty level. I did a video about this a few days ago. If you want to check that video out, I'll post it at the end of this video. I'll post it above so you can check it out. But that looks like that has a real strong possibility of being in the $3.5 trillion bill. And that's because politicians they just mentioned it last week. And so this might be something that they're going to push forward with. Now, Supplemental Security Income Restoration Act. So just like Social Security, the 100% of the poverty level, you also have a version of that for people on SSI. And so it looks like they're going to focus on that as well. And hopefully we'll see that in the $3.5 trillion bill, because politicians have been talking about that. So this is the blueprint that we have right now. Some of the things that are in the proposal, some of the things that we have not heard yet. Now, I know there's some things that I might have missed. So if I did miss some stuff, post it in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, you know what? I heard politicians talking about that. What happened to that? And we'll address that. Maybe I can compile, just keep this list going and add some to this list. And then we're hoping in the next 2-3 weeks, we're going to hear more proposals come out from different politicians. And the hope is that they can incorporate some of this stuff in that $3.5 trillion bill. So as of right now, as of where we stand today, we're going to be waiting on the House. They have returned, so we're going to wait on them to see what they're going to do, how they're going to move with the budget resolution. We want to focus on that budget resolution, because once they pass the budget resolution, that will open up the opportunity to offer these different proposals. And so that's what we're focused on. But we have the first infrastructure bill, the budget resolution bill. Those are the two bills that the House will be taking up this week. Hopefully they'll be taking it up this week. So that's what we have. If you guys have any questions, post it down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.